Hey everyone, it's Bumblebee, and I talk about everything hiking, backpacking, and camping. So if these topics interest you, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and hit the bell icon to get notifications when I upload new content. I am starting a series of videos to help the beginners that are getting into hiking and backpacking. Now, that since these videos are geared towards beginners, that doesn't mean that someone that's a little more experienced can't watch these, as there's a lot of good useful information and it's a nice refresher, and it might actually cover some information that you may have not thought of before, or that you just haven't thought of in a while, and it's always a good refresher. So today's video is going to be about what do I need to actually get into backpacking. This is going to be the basics. This isn't going to be, all the likes. These are going to be the luxury items. This is going to be, most of the essential items, the must-haves. And so one of the very most important items, then everybody's going to think, well, Bumblebee, duh, everybody knows that we're going to need that, but it's the backpack. But it's also one of those items that everybody knows that they need, but it's not one that a beginner might actually really put a lot of thought into. So this item here, even though it is a very necessary item, a beginner may not know exactly what to look for. Now, I'm not going to go into depth of what to get here, but yes, this is an item that you're going to need. This here is a Z-Pack's Arc Haul. Even though it's a great pack, and I love this pack, this may not necessarily be a pack that a beginner will get. It's an expensive pack, and the reason why I say it may not be something for a beginner to get, you really need to be more on the lighter side as far as your gear. So one of the reasons why I say, about the beginner not knowing what to get or when to get it and stuff like that is there's a couple of trains of thoughts here on when to get the pack. Some think, oh, you should get the pack first, or say you should get the pack after you get your gear. So the larger the pack, the more things you put in it. All right. So if you get your pack first, and after you get your gear, everything may not fit in it. So if you buy a pack like this, you spend a lot of money on this, and you spend a lot of money on a few other things, and then you can't afford a lot of lighter gear items, this may not be necessarily the best pack for you. Now, you get a pack like this, you are going to spend a lot of more money on lighter weight items. All right. Now, not all my gear items are the most lightest weight, but my base weight is fairly light. Now, if you get your pack after you get your big ticket items here, then you can get a pack that's going to work with what you have. Then you can buy a pack that's sized right for what you need. But I'll do a video a little more in depth on packs here in a little while. But yes, backpack. Very, very, very important to backpacking and hiking, So, when you get into backpacking, all right, one of the things that everybody talks about is the big three. Backpack is part of that. All right. So, another part of the big three is your shelter. All right. What I use for a shelter is a hammock. Now, for a beginner who's never camped, car camped, or anything like that, get into backpacking, I don't necessarily recommend a hammock. Right? Not at first. I recommend a tent. I started with a tent as well, even though I've camped and stuff before. But so, here's my hammock. I've got a tarp. There's more to it than this. You have tent stakes, which you'll have with the tent. You have hammock straps and so forth. But this is the basics of a shelter. But for a beginner, I would recommend getting a tent. There's lightweight tent options. There's a little bit heavier ones, but you really kind of want to stay at a lighter, as much lightweight as you possibly can. Now remember, everything that I'm showing you right now is what works for me. What works for me right now necessarily won't work for you, right? So take that for what it's worth. But buy the best gear that you can with what you can afford, right? Just because going to Walmart doesn't necessarily mean, and these are stakes, guidelines, doesn't mean that you can't do a trail like the Appalachian Trail. People have done it before, right? Now, it just means your gear is going to be heavier. Now, another thing, as you can see, I've got a quilt, I've got a sleeping bag back there. Another part of your big three is your sleep system. Alright, this is a top quilt. I don't have it in here, but with the hammock I would have an under quilt. But right now I just have a top quilt in here. This is from UGQ. This is a 20 degree. So if you're doing a long trail or something like this is like Appalachian Trail. A lot of people will do a 20 degree bag or a quilt the whole way. Right? This is an expensive quilt. This is a custom quilt. I had it custom made for me. Right? Again, buy what you can afford. But you'll need some sort of a sleeping bag, right? Whether it's an actual sleeping bag or a quilt of some sort. I'll do another video going into these about the differences between a top quilt and like a sleeping bag, pros and cons to each. But you know, you will need something like this. Now, I said beginner. You'll probably want to go more towards a tent. One reason why I didn't put the undercoat in there, since I was recommending a tent. Big 3, kind of technically 4. You want something like this. Right? Not necessarily this one, but you're going to want some sort of sleeping pad. Right? So if you're sleeping on the ground, you need some sort of insulation. That's kind of what the underquilt does for the hammock. It's what the sleeping pad does for when you're sleeping on the ground. Right? When you're sleeping on the ground, you have convection or conduction. Oh well, whatever. I'll post it down there. Just slipped my mind. But you need some sort of insulation between you. This is the Nemo Air X Lite. Some people don't like it because it's kind of crinkly, but this is an air mattress, right? This is the long, and it's a mummy style. Some people don't like the mummy style, but this one works for me when I'm sleeping on the ground. There's other types. There's the closed-off foam. There's the self-inflating. I'll do another video on talking about the differences of the sleeping pads as well, or just the insulation that you'll need. So there's that. So that kind of covers the big three. So that's the essentials. That's where you're going to spend the most money. Right? That's where you need to kind of start with first. Right? You need to budget. You need to kind of work really hard and figure out what it is that you want. If you really want to go ultralight, you're going to spend a lot of money there. So now, another thing that you're going to need to worry about, you're going to need to worry about your clothing. Now, I don't have all the clothing in here, but I do have some of the clothing here. Now, here's kind of what I wear when I'm hiking. I wear a kilt. You don't have to wear a kilt. You can wear shorts, you can wear hiking pants, you can wear leggings. Most guys wear shorts when it's warm. They kind of go to hiking pants when it gets colder. Girls, some of them wear shorts, leggings, hiking pants, dresses, skirts. Like I said, I prefer a kilt. I've actually seen some guys wear kilts, not very many. Guys wear kilts that get made fun of, but hey, do your thing, hike your own hike. Guys don't make fun of other guys that wear kilts, right? Nothing wrong with the kilt, right? Some sort of shirt, right? This is a synthetic shirt, right? This is just kind of an off-brand. It's like the Columbia type fishing shirts. You can wear merino wool. A lot of people like the merino wool type shirts. Others like the fishing type shirts, whatever. Especially during colder weather, stay away from cotton. Cotton holds in moisture, and that's bad. You know, during summertime, it's not as important, but you know, especially in colder weather, you know, when wool gets wet, it still insulates you. Cotton won't. So, underwear, right? You want at least 2 pairs. One that you're wearing, one to change out. Right? Hiking socks, wool hiking socks. Right? One that you're wearing, one to change out. I don't have them in here, but I also wear the Injinji liners, the toe sock liners, right? They help with blisters. Girls, sports bra, right? Telling you, you only need one, really. Right? You don't need to be changing these in and out, right? Especially with even your tops. Don't need to be changing them in and out, right? Yes, hike your hike. If you really need to take another change of clothes to change out from day to day, do your thing, but you'll learn. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cold. Put it on. You're going to warm up, right? If you're on a long hike, you're going to end up washing everything anyways, right? Mid-layer base layer for when it's cold. I carry a buff, just a little tube, right around my neck. You can wear it around your neck like a headband, whatever. They're great. They're multi-purpose. You can use to wipe things down. All right. Always, I don't have them in here, but you can have a change of clothes to sleep in, right? All you wear those for, to only sleep in, right? Have them based off of the time of year that you're going, is how I do it. Now, I'm not so worried about them if they're cotton, if I'm sleeping in, because I'm getting changed into them to go to sleep. I'm not going to get them sweaty. I don't plan to sweat while I'm sleeping. If you're sweating while you're sleeping, you have a problem to begin with. That's one of the nice things about the quilt, right? You can flip it open and air yourself out because you're getting too hot, right? So you don't want the sweat in your bag anyways. So I'm not so worried about cotton for my sleep clothes. That way I change my clothes to go to sleep. I don't get my inside of my quilt or sleeping bag dirty. Now, want some sort of bag to put my clothes that I'm not wearing into my pack. Some sort of puffy. Alright, I am going to upgrade this at some point. This is just Fabletics. Doesn't have a hood. It's a little bit heavier, but it works. It's synthetic. I'm going to go to down at some point. You'll also want some sort of beanie, some sort of gloves. Shoes, of course. There's many types of shoes you can go. I go with trail runners. Do your thing. Trail runners work great for me. If you need hiking boots or mids, whatever, right? Need some sort of shoes, right? Trail runners have a more aggressive tread than regular running shoes. I like these because they dry out faster and they're a lot lighter than a hiking shoe. Some sort of rain gear, because when you're out there, it might rain. But more importantly, most rain gear at some point is going to wet out, or you're going to sweat underneath it, right? Rain gear is supposed to keep you dry, but there's another function for this. It's to keep you warm. But you'll need some sort of rain jacket, at least a raincoat, rain jacket. These are Frog Talks, they're cheap. You can normally get these things for about $20, right? People go spend hundreds of dollars for these expensive rain jackets. They end up wetting out. $20. They rip, you're not out much. I do a rain kilt. Works as a ground sheet as well. Next thing I have here, bear bag, or food bag. It's called a bear bag because you hang it to keep bears out of it, or mice. Right, this one's from Z-Packs. It's made from Dyneema fiber. One thing also about bear bags, you want something to be able to hang it. This has got some like zinget type cord. It's got a carabiner. This has got the little bag that goes with it. You put rocks in it. You throw it over and you hang it. There's a PCT style. There's other styles. I'll do a video talking about how to hang a bag as well. I always carry a Ziploc bag in my bear bag. This is your trash bag. Leave no trace. Everything goes into here. When you get to a place you can dump your trash, you dump this out. If you're only going for overnight or for a week, it's fine. But if you get to a place where there's a trash can, you can dump it out, you put this back in your bear bag. I keep my wet wipes in there as well. These are a hygiene thing, but kind of smellable. But you're gonna need some sort of food. I put this in there just because to show you food. right? There's all different kinds of food. You don't have to do dehydrated meals, but this is one of the options. Everything I've bought, I'm showing you here, I've paid for, right? The Peak refuels, they're actually pretty good. They take a little bit less water than like the Mountain Houses and stuff. Nothing wrong with Mountain House. They're good as well. You can eat ramen, you can eat whatever. You can get creative with your meals, especially if you're going out for an overnight or something like that. You don't even have to do dehydrated food. You can cook a meal yourself. Now, talking about cooking, making meals. You need something to eat it with. Right here. Thing about these things here, right? There's a lot of length here, especially even once you take this much off of it, right? You don't want to get your hands dirty. So right here, Sea to Summit, very lightweight spoon, right here, right? It's like, I think 0.6 ounces, something like that, very lightweight. Now that you have the bag and you have your food, you need somehow to cook it. You need some way to make it, right? You're not always going to have food that you're going to cook, but you need some way, if you're going to have hot meals, you need some way to do it. Have a cookbook, right? This one here is by Oil Camp. There's many kinds. There's Tokes, there's whatever. This is anodized aluminum. There's titanium. I have a titanium pot as well, but for this one, this is what I've got. This one's got a silicone lid. It stays on better, holds everything well. Right? I got a bandana. Right? So I'll show you what's in the bandana in a moment. Got a canister. This is one of the small canisters. This is one of those iso propane butane mixes. Okay? Small canister. This is one of the little 100-ounce ones. They got a little larger one, right? Little imitation Bic lighter. This is the Scripto, same thing. Little canister stove. There's several different models. This one's also Oil Camp. Right? This is kind of like one of the Pocket Rocket styles. But yeah, great stove. I'm going to be doing videos on different stoves. Not just backpacking stoves. I've got a couple of camp stoves that I'm going to be doing videos on them as well. So these things just screw right on here. You turn it on, you light it, put your pot on top, you boil your water, you put your water into the food, right, and you let it rehydrate, right? You can even turn the flame down on this. You can simmer things. You can actually cook in a pot, or if you have a pan, you can get creative, right? You can actually have a hot meal. If you don't even like cooking, you can cold soak the food if you're into that. I actually like a hot meal myself. Need some sort of first aid kit. I don't go very fancy. Just some ibuprofen, some diarrhea pills, some band-aids. I got a needle, some Neosporin, and so forth. Put it in a Ziploc bag. Keep it dry. Also, you may want a dry bag for something. Alright. Now, you have your food we just talked about. right? You need that water. You're out there, right? I carry 2 1-liter smart water bottles. Some people do bladders. This is all you need. They're lightweight, right? If you get the little sports flip cap tops, even better. Right. While you're out there, you need some way to refill water, right? This is one of the standards a lot of people use, is the Sawyer squeeze. Right. It comes with these little bags, right? They last for a while. A lot of people have problems, they break here. I haven't had a problem with them yet. You can get a little CNOC bladder to replace them. Right, you can squeeze this on, or screw this on top after you fill this. Squeeze it in there. Some people go as far as putting this on top, squeeze it on there. Works that way as well. But then you have dirty water in here. Right, you got to make sure that you don't ever use this without the filter on top once you have dirty water in here. You've eaten your food. Now you got to go number 2. You always carry toilet paper, right? But inside there, you don't always have a latrine. You don't always have an outhouse, but you carry a little trowel, a little shovel. This is the Deuce of Spades, the number 2. This is 0.6 ounces, right? Very lightweight shovel. I keep it with my TP paper. I'll do a very short video on go and poo in the woods. There's a way that you do it properly. Hygiene Kit. Notice I'm using a lot of Ziploc bags. Using them because they're lightweight. But you know, Hygiene Kit, toothbrush and so forth, you know. Everybody's different what they carry. Right? I'm carrying stuff that other people won't. Hike your own hike. Carry what you need. Right? Now, technically this backpack does not need to be water resistant. Excuse me. Is supposed to be water resistant, and it's supposed to not need a liner, but I like to take precautions. Right? You can line it with a contractor bag. You can line it with a compactor, like a trash compactor bag. They make these little really thin Nylaflume bags. I've used those as well. I just don't have any right now. They got misplaced in the move. Right. Another thing that you need a headlamp of some sort. Right. This isn't the one I normally use. It's packed away right now. Right. But you have the white light, but you also want one that has red light. Right. Red light is very important if you're at a place where there's other people, shelter and everything. You don't want to use the white light because it'll blind them. Right. Those are basically the essentials that you need. Whether you're going on an overnight or you're going on a week-long section hike, month-long section hike, or a through hike. Those are your essentials. Now, if you're going on longer than an overnight, you want something like this. You're going to want a battery pack. You're probably going to have your phone or something with you. you're going to need something to charge things, right? This is 20,000 milliamp, probably more than you're going to need. I do videoing and other stuff, right? So that's why I carry more, right? I'm doing it overnight. I have a very small 5,000 milliamp. It covers me for one night. Not totally essential, but this is a koozie. Alright, they're nice to have. I'm including it just because with your food, you put the water in, you put it in there, helps heat it up. So this basically everything that you need. Not that I overwhelmed you. I know it's a lot. It seems like a lot of gear. Seems like a lot of stuff. And it kind of is. You know, whether you're doing an overnight hike or you're doing a multi-day trek, you basically need the same amount of stuff. Just the amount of food that you're going to take with you is going to be different. But it's all fun. Right? It's not an inexpensive hobby. It's not cheap. But like I said, it's fun. So, but if you are new to this and you have questions, please don't hesitate reaching out to me. So hopefully you did watch the whole video. And hopefully you liked the video. So, but thank you for watching. Please subscribe.